King Leo here, back with the second wrestling video, another one for Monday Night Raw. Trying to make this video consistent, try to give it to you every week. So make sure if you want these wrestling videos, you want to stay tuned, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So this is the third Raw of the new year, you know, this new era. We expected some good things. Last week they put on one of the best shows in a long time, so I went into this show with high expectations. And you know, this is the show right before the Royal Rumble, so you know, they gotta get this excited. You know, it's the Royal Rumble though, we're already excited. One of the big 4 pay-per-views, it's like special, like you only get the Royal Rumble one time a year that you get this excitement. So we're already excited for the Royal Rumble, but you know, just having that Raw and SmackDown before to amp it up and be like, okay, we have to watch this, even though we're going to watch it if you're a diehard fan, but like we have to. Who's going to win the Rumble? Who's going to win for the men? Who's going to win to the women? Who's going to WrestleMania? You know, we have rumblings, we hear things, but you know, expected and unexpected, you know, anything can happen. So did Raw deliver last night? I think we could all say that Raw was very underwhelming last night. And it's like I can't pinpoint one thing or a few things that made it horrible. I'll just have to say overall, it was like nothing going on. Nothing going on at all. It was just like, I felt like it was just like a regular old, it reminded me of like you went to a house show. You know, you had Brock Lesnar there, which is like very rare for a Raw, but it still didn't have no excitement. It didn't have that big time feel. You know, he came to the ring with Paul Heyman. That's how we opened the show, right after we did a little tribute to Martin Luther King. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day. So Heyman's talking his normal stuff. He's hyping up Brock, and you know, he's talking about Finn Balor, who's the #1 contender, and basically he's talking about how you know, Finn, you know, he's good, but he's nowhere close to Brock Lesnar. So you know, this is gonna be easy, a piece of cake, and he's gonna walk out Universal Champ still. Then Vince comes out and Vince is like, basically, he's not even trying to be diplomatic about the situation. He's like, you have no chance. He's like, the story about David and Goliath and all kind of stuff. He was like, David went up against Goliath and was never seen again until he was reincarnated as you, Finn Balor. And then eventually, you know, everybody's talking, they're going back and forth. You get a Braun Strowman and Finn Balor match, because Braun Strowman was out there too. I forgot to mention that. Don't know why, but he was there. And Paul Heyman and Brock are leaving, and Vince, you know, says, stay, you know, get a front row seat to this match. You know, you can see him go against this David and Goliath type match right here. So we get Brock watching, circling the ring, watching Finn Balor and Braun Strowman. We've seen this match many times in the past, but many times in the past it was just Braun crushing Finn. You know, they're trying to build up Finn towards this match right now, so it looked like he was about to pick up the win until we got some interference by Brock Lesnar. I think it's the right thing to do. You can't have Finn Balor beat Braun Strowman right now. We've already made him look weak enough, so this was the right decision to have him interfere, adds more attention to the match, but it also made Finn Balor look kind of strong. Next, we get this Intercontinental celebration for the almighty Bobby Lashley. You know, I'm excited that Bobby Lashley's champ. You know, I feel like this is going to get him career propelled in the right direction. And, you know, he's been kind of stagnant since he's been back. But I feel like him pairing it with Lio Rush and his title is going to, like, get him to the next level. Hopefully he'll be going for a Universal title one day. Even though I know that's not what y'all want, I want it. So he comes out, you know, Lio Rush is talking his talk, being annoying, doing his job, and he has like a little podium there, and he wraps the Intercontinental title around Bobby Lashley. This is his big coronation celebration, and then he's like wants to give us poses. So Bobby Lashley's on the podium just posing, giving us this kind of pose, giving us this kind of pose, giving us this kind of pose. We didn't get his famous pose though, because we were interrupted by Apollo Crews. And I like this. You know, we got Apollo Crews, we got Bobby Lashley, two guys, you know, trying to have some kind of footing in the company. You know, Bobby Lashley's been there, but you know they wanted big things for him, but it has just been working. Apollo has just been wasting away since he's been on the main roster. We know he has the talent, but does he have the character? Does he have the personality? And right now, I would say no, but he does have the in-ring skills. So I'm all for it when they do give him a chance. So eventually we get a pose off between the two. And this is just a funny segment. I really like this segment because it's just ridiculous. They're posing, they're doing their thing, they're just looking ridiculous. And then eventually he attacks by Apollo Crews, and we get a match. And the match was a really good match. I liked it. In the end, Bobby Lashley won. I would have liked Apollo Crews to win, but you can't do that. Bobby Lashley just won the title, so I felt like that was the right way to go. Then we have Seth Rollins comes out. He cuts a promo. He's talking about Martin Luther King Day, and then he's talking about the Royal Rumble and how he's walking out the Royal Rumble as the winner. And then he gets interrupted by Drew McIntyre. And I'm a big Drew fan. I really like this promo by Drew. To me, he's on top of his game right now. And he's like, you know, you could have been me, but I'm everything you, just bigger, stronger, and smarter. He's like, you put your body in too much risk, and you're not smart about the whole thing. He was like, and basically, I'm going to the Rumble, and I'm gonna win. I'm going to WrestleMania. Then they eventually have a match, and they have a good match. The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome!" Every time you have those two in the ring, it's gonna be a good match. And eventually, I think it's Drew McIntyre who gets the win. And I feel like this is a good thing because he kind of started taking some losses at the end of last year out of nowhere after he was undefeated for a long time. So I feel like this is the right decision to give him the win. And, you know, it's not like they're going to a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble. It's going to be a whole bunch of people. So Seth Rollins could afford to take the loss, especially if I think he's going to win, like I think he's going to win the Royal Rumble and go on to challenge for that Universal title. So, I'm going to skip over a few things because something just weren't worth mentioning. We had Lucha House Party versus Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Singh brothers we haven't seen wrestle in so long. They were used to them just getting tossed around. But Lucha House Party win, which should happen. We also had the debut of Heavy Machinery actually in the ring, and they won against the Ascension, which, you know, that's the tag team you use if you're going to call somebody up and give them momentum. So we know the Ascension was taking that loss right there. We also had EC3. We saw him backstage, and like always, he's just always posed and so into himself. And Dana Brooke is just there admiring his body. Wow, you look so nice. What do you eat? What do you do? All kind of stuff. And I feel like this is good for Dana because if it wasn't for this, we probably wouldn't have seen Dana on TV. And she probably, next time we would have saw her, probably was at the Royal Rumble, probably getting eliminated first. So, yeah, if you're going to do something between the two, make her manager, make it like a little romance. I think this is what's going to save her job, at least for now, because she's probably close to being released soon because they have nothing for her. So, eventually we get a moment of bliss. This is the third episode of A Moment of Bliss. And I've been expecting a lot from this because, you know, Alexa is gold on the mic. But to me, I've been very underwhelmed by A Moment of Bliss. It just hasn't been giving me... I don't know if they're trying to get her more as a face, but she isn't, like, stinging her guests or stinging the crowd. She's just very, like... She's not nice, but she's not causing any controversy, any tension while she's there, and I don't like that. I like Alexa to be starting the mess and be the pot stirrer. So I don't know what direction they're going in with A Moment of Bliss or Alexa Bliss at this point. So she's talking. She announces all the women that are going to be in the Rumble, which is cool. Basically the whole roster right now. So we still have some spots open. So it's interesting to see who that's going to be. Hopefully a few NXT girls. I want to see Kairi Sane in there. Like she was there last year. I want to see Bianca Belair in there. Even though she might win the title at TakeOver. I want to see Shayna Baszler in there. A few people, and hopefully we get like a few sprinkling of legends. Last year there were a lot of legends. This year you only need a few. You don't need to make it so nostalgic again. That was the first one. Make it more like the men's now. Just have it really competitive between the people that's there and who's gonna face Ronda, who might be champion so that Mania, or Asuka. So she brings out Nia Jax, who she said is maybe the biggest threat to win. She comes out. She's interrupted by Ember Moon. I liked Ember Moon. She cut a pretty good promo. She had fire behind it because I feel like she believed what she said. You know, she was like, I'm tired of waiting for invitation that was never going to come. She was like, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. And I like that. And if I do a predictions video, you'll see how I feel about Ember Moon and Royal Rumble and what I really think should happen, what's going to happen. And yeah, I have some thoughts about Ember Moon. Then we get her interrupted by Alicia Fox. Then she's interrupted by Mickie James. Next thing you know, you have the whole Raw women's roster out, and they're just fighting. And Alexa Bliss is just over it. So they all go to the back, and then Alexa Bliss announces a big announcement. She's back. She's finally back, and she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. And this is good. I'm happy for Alexa because, you know, she's been on the show for a few months. Nobody really knew when she was going to come back. That's why they put her in this whole speaking role, a moment of bliss. And it's great that she could come back for the Royal Rumble, being that she wasn't even in the Rumble last year since she was the champion. So I know she really wanted to be in that Rumble. So I think this is a good opportunity. And last year we had the big omission of Paige not being able to be in the Royal Rumble. So I was like, damn, that sucks. No Paige last year, no Alexa this year. So at least we get Alexa this year. And then Alexa's interrupted by the debut, and speaking of, Lacey Evans, the lady of NXT. And basically Lacey comes there in her outfit with a fur, just prancing in, like looking at Alexa in disgust. And she calls her some kind of runt. And was like, you're not gonna win. She was like, the winner of the Royal Rumble is gonna be me, a classy lady. And I love Lacey Evans for that. She really into that character. I feel like her ring skills are improving too. I was never too big on her in NXT, but I've seen some things in her last few matches there, in the dark match she had against Natalya a few weeks ago. And then I feel like she has the presence to make it on the main roster if they push her and just give her the support to like just really go with this character. She could be like the next Alexa, the next like bitchy, like feisty woman. And that's good if they put her against Alexa. I'm like, are they kind of turning Alexa face? I don't know. That'd be interesting to see. I know a lot of people say that Alexa should never be face, but I think to show your versatility as a wrestler, you have to go back and forth sometimes. Like, she's been here for a long time. Let's see if she could do it on the face level. So I'm here for Alexa face turn. Let's see what could happen. So the last match of the night, the main event, was a tag team match between Best Friends, Sasha and Bayley, the Boston Head Connection, and Best Friends, Natty and Ronda. Ronda has an interview backstage with, let's say, Charlie Caruso. And she had a fire in her. I really liked it. And I felt like it was it had sprinklings of good, like, work in it. But then she, like, 3 times she tripped over her words, and she was trying to like glance over real quick, so she was like talking fast, and she just kept messing up. She was like, I was like, oh damn, this is not good. This is not good. But she recovered all times, and she was able to end it out on a high note. And she came down. She went down to the ring, and I was like, okay, we'll take that. Then we get Sasha and Bayley come out, and then before the match started, they're in the ring. Where Sasha grabs the mic. Yeah, so Sasha cuts another good promo, and this is like the 3rd week in a row that Sasha has really been on her game. And I'm feeling like, after her 2018, Sasha came into 2019 and said, yeah, this may be a match that got just thrown into me just for in the meantime until we get to Ronda to WrestleMania. But she's like, I'm going to make the most of this opportunity, and I'm going to show you why I should be in the main event all the time. So Sasha's making the most out of her opportunity, and even though she knows this is probably a filler match, she's not getting the title. That's what Sasha does. Sasha always gives her all. It could be a house show, it could be a little Raw match against the Riot Squad for the 1000th time. She's going to give it her all. So I like that about Sasha. I'm also liking this new edge that Bayley has been having lately. Bayley has not, you know, she's still happy, but she has a fire behind her, and that's what Bayley needs to make it to the next level. Because if she continues like this, she's going to be an afterthought. She's going to end up just being the next like Dana Brooke or Alicia Fox, and just, if you were talking to Alicia Fox, just in the company for years, not really doing anything. And we don't need that from Bayley, because we know what Bayley can do when she's given the opportunity. But it's hard because she's not given the opportunity, and she needs to work on her mic skills. So Ronda is out there just fired up. I'm like, why is Ronda so angry? But we get to the match, and it's a pretty good match. They give them a pretty good time, at least like 15 minutes. And you know, Natty, you know, Natty's Natty. She's not going to give you too much exciting stuff, but she's good technically in the ring. Bailey and Sasha, I feel like they've been trying new things because they know they're going for those tag team titles, soon. So they've been trying new moves, trying new combinations, and I really like it. And it was a good match. And Sasha tapped out Natty. So officially, this is Ronda's first loss. You know, she still hasn't been pinned or submitted, but I feel like that's a big deal. It took almost a year. She debuted at the Royal Rumble last year. Her first match was WrestleMania in April, and she hasn't lost a match yet, even a tag match. So even though this is a tag match, I feel like this is a big deal. And they're doing that because they want to give Sasha this momentum. They want you to feel like Sasha has a chance going into this match. And I feel like that's the right thing to do. Even though I would love it, I doubt it. I don't think Sasha's going to pick up that title, but I think they're going to give us a great match. Hopefully it's on the same level as Ronda and Charlotte, and Ronda and Nia at TLC, I think. That was a good match. So, yeah. So that was the show. I don't feel like it gave us any exciting moments or anything epic or anything that you had to talk about with people. Like, and this is the show before Royal Rumble, and it just was like a basic show, and we don't need basic right now, especially we're going into Royal Rumble, we're going into WrestleMania season, and AEW is over here starting up, and you got your own wrestlers asking for their releases left and right. So speaking of releases, before we go real quick, so you know the rumor right now is Revival is asking for a release. So it's funny that they actually had a little squabble with Vince McMahon last night. It was interesting to see, and they wanted another shot at the titles. And Vince, he was like, oh no. He eventually gave it to them, and they put Kurt Hawkins as the special guest referee. So they faced Rude and Gable, and they lost again. I felt like this was the night. I'm like, yo, is it true that they probably are thinking about leaving? Maybe they give them the tag titles. And I was like, yes, this is the night the Revival are going to capture those titles. But nope, they lose again. They lose like every week on Raw. And I feel like they've gotten more tag team titles than anybody I've seen. And they still can't win the big match. So this is interesting. I don't know where they're going to go for the Revival. So yeah, so that was Raw. It was, I wouldn't say a bad Raw, I wouldn't say a good Raw, I would just say a basic Raw. It just not much thought put into it, but what happened wasn't horrible. So tonight we have SmackDown, and I feel like SmackDown will deliver. They usually do, and we'll see what's gonna happen. You know, we got the rivalry between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. We have this new tag team with Shane McMahon and The Miz that I'm not really feeling right now. I don't understand this whole angle. They're going with it. I feel like they're wasting Miz. Miz could be doing so much more right now. And then we have the women, Asuka and Becky going at it. So I don't know what they're gonna do tonight to push that storyline before their match. And then I'm interested to see what's going on between Naomi and Mandy Rose. What antics will Mandy Rose be up to tonight? Like last week, she propositioned Jimmy Uso, got him to the hotel, then Naomi beat her ass, then she ended up beating Naomi's ass, and I think this is a good storyline right here. So I'm interested to see what Mandy Rose is going to do today. Like, what is she going to do? Like, be in his dressing room when he walk in, just like with a towel on, and then like, I would love to see that. Like, she's in her towel, Jimmy Uso walks in, all we see is like the back of him, but we could see like in between his legs, and we just see the towel drop to the floor. I would love that. And see what he does. I think after that he should probably close the door and let us wonder, and then Naomi find them. So yeah, that's how I would do it. So let's see what happens tonight. I'm coming at you tomorrow again with a SmackDown recap. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can get more of these wrestling videos, and be on the lookout whenever they come out. Alright, I'll see you later.